Hello, everyone. My name is Matt Curtis, and I've been in business since around 2009. My businesses include Monsa, which is a blockchain-based brand, as well as Immortal Media, which is a Web3-based, marketing agency. Immortal Fitness, which is a, fitness gym that's located throughout California, and as well as Immortal Investments, where we onboard people onto Web3 and into learning and being educated about blockchain and Bitcoin. I've been in Square as a partner with them since around 2019, integrating them in different locations at our Immortal Fitness locations. And then also we've been using it in Immortal Investments to automatically convert some of our income into Bitcoin. I'd say my introduction to Bitcoin came around the time in 2010 when I was introduced to it while working at Goldman in New York City. And a lot of people there that were also financial analysts were just discussing it, as a new asset. It's only been like a year old. And, I grew some interest to it. And then when I went back as a tech analyst, that whole side of the firm was just talking about it, the blockchain technology behind it. And I grew more interest into it. So then I started up a blockchain startup called Block 26 with a former business partner. And we were helping companies onboard onto blockchain. And in the end of that year, that's when I bought my first Bitcoin. The price was $324. And I was like, okay, this is a good asset. It already reached $1,000. It can go back to that. But I set aside some money over time from working and decided to just go all in and decided to set up a buy order, and it filled at $170.50. So that's when I bought my first big chunk of Bitcoin. I kept a ton of it. Learned the risk when it comes down to actually selling Bitcoin or selling other assets. And know that the tax, liabilities that comes with that. So I then made an adjustment to never sell my Bitcoin, never sell any crypto, and to just get loans against it. So I started working with other options that were out there. But in that process, I was able to pay off the loan that I took out. The Bitcoin went from, $170 to clearly where it is now. And keeping still a ton of that. And was able to then diversify and open up other businesses. And one of those businesses being like, for example, acquiring a gym facility in Oakland and being able to, keep the staff there, help, them out and help change their lives and open up a new location in Berkeley and stuff like that. As well as, onboarding more people onto Bitcoin and other forms of blockchain technology through Immortal Investments, where we just are able to reach out to the consumers that want to learn about Bitcoin but just don't know how. So we give all different kind of options for that. So that then led me to seeking out Square, because they have a recognizable brand that not only people can just easily tap their card and pay when it comes down to renewing your membership or something like that. And in that time, I was able to not only acquire more and more sales using Square, because it's a trusted platform, but then also from those sales, convert those manually into Bitcoin. Recently, over the past year or so, they've now offered us an option to onboard it to where it's automatically taking out 10%. So I was like, that seems like a whole lot easier than having to do it manually anymore. So it just seemed like a no-brainer, and I've been doing it ever since. And it just really helped the business expand, getting into Bitcoin, because then I was able to acquire other businesses. But then not only that, the Bitcoin can allow us to debank from traditional banks and become our own banks. So that's why I feel that Bitcoin is not only a viable asset that will continuously grow, but it's an asset that everybody should get involved with.
Matt, I was curious if before you have a few minutes to close out, for sellers who are maybe interested in Bitcoin but haven't yet taken the plunge into bringing Bitcoin into their business operations or bringing it into their business, what advice would you share with them?
What advice I would share with them to get into Bitcoin is, a good incentive is if you were to do something like what we're doing and integrate it with Square, and let's say it goes from 10 to 20% or whatever, it's a good tax incentive, basically, because you would be lowering your tax liability because you only be taxed on your fiat currency. So if a portion of that, let's say 20%, is going directly into Bitcoin and you never sell it, you can't get taxed something you never sold. So it's not a realized gain. That capital gain is then strictly into that Bitcoin, and it continuously grows. So let's say minimally you make like 2 million a year, or somewhere around that. You make that, and 20% of that is going directly into Bitcoin. That isn't showing up on your tax statements. So liability-wise, you'll be better off using something like this because it'll make things a lot more easier for you moving forward. And on top of that, you can actually grow your income exponentially compared to just sticking to fiat currency seamlessly and use that money by taking loans out against your Bitcoin and never having to actually sell it, to open up another location, hire new staff, buy new equipment, etc.
Perfect.